I walked through 3 different dealerships last week, and the same 7 cars kept appearing with price slashes that made my jaw drop. We're talking $4,000, $5,000, even $7,000 off MSRP on brand new vehicles that haven't even hit their first oil change. In 15 years of buying and selling cars, I've seen market shifts, but nothing like what's happening in 2026. These aren't budget econoboxes from unknown brands. These are mainstream sedans and coupes from manufacturers you trust with your money, except buyers aren't trusting them anymore. The reasons are brutal, catastrophic reliability problems, resale values in free fall, hidden ownership costs that surface after purchase, and in some cases, better alternatives at lower prices that make these cars obsolete before they leave the lot. Dealers are panicking because every day these cars sit unsold, they lose money on floor plan interest while depreciation eats away any profit margin. What I'm sharing today comes from real conversations with dealers, actual owner complaints, and hard data that tells a story these manufacturers don't want you to hear. Number 1. Nissan Sentra. The Nissan Sentra has become the car nobody wants, and honestly, I completely understand why. That continuously variable transmission is still the same unreliable nightmare it's been for years, with failure rates that should embarrass Nissan into abandoning the technology altogether. I've personally witnessed Sentras with under 70,000 miles needing complete CV replacements costing upwards of $4,000, often conveniently failing just outside warranty coverage. The interior feels like it was designed in 2015 and forgotten, with cheap plastics, uncomfortable seats, and an infotainment system that lags worse than a budget smartphone. Fuel economy, which should be this car's saving grace, is mediocre at best, easily beaten by the Honda Civic and Toyota Corolla, while those competitors also offer vastly superior reliability and resale value. Speaking of resale, the Sentra depreciates faster than almost anything in its class, losing 40% of its value in just 3 years. Dealers are offering rebates exceeding $3,000, 0% financing, and they're still stuck with rows of unsold Sentras collecting dust. Buyers have wised up, reading the horror stories and choosing literally anything else, and frankly, they're making the right call. But the Sentra isn't the only Japanese sedan suffering. Number 2. Subaru Legacy. The Subaru Legacy was once the sensible choice for all-wheel drive sedan buyers, but in 2026, it's become irrelevant in a market that's moved on without it. The 2.5-liter base engine is gutless, struggling to motivate this midsize sedan with any enthusiasm, making highway merging feel like a calculated risk. The turbocharged 2.4-liter option is better, but comes with a price premium that pushes the Legacy into territory where competitors offer more car for less money. The continuously variable transmission, while more reliable than Nissan's, still delivers that droning, disconnected driving experience that sucks the joy out of every acceleration. Interior quality is a mixed bag. Some decent materials up front, but cheap hard plastics everywhere else that don't justify the asking price. The infotainment system is clunky and outdated compared to what Honda, Mazda, and even Hyundai are offering in this segment. What's really killing the Legacy is relevance. Buyers who want all-wheel drive and practicality are choosing SUVs, while those who want a sedan are picking the sportier Mazda 6, more refined Honda Accord, or the tech-loaded Hyundai Sonata. Resale value has tanked accordingly, and dealers are sitting on inventory with incentives approaching $5,000, desperately trying to move a car the market simply doesn't want anymore, and speaking of sedans, the market has forgotten. Number 3. Volkswagen Jetta. The Volkswagen Jetta used to mean German engineering at an affordable price. Well, that promise has crumbled into a reliability nightmare that's left dealers stuck with unsold inventory they can't give away. The 1.4-liter turbocharged engine found in most models is plagued with carbon buildup issues, requiring expensive walnut blasting services around 60,000 miles that can cost $1,200 or more. Ignition coil failures are common, often multiple times within the first 100,000 miles, and while individually cheap to fix, the frequency is frustrating and concerning. The 8-speed automatic transmission has developed a reputation for jerky shifting and hesitation, with some owners reporting complete failures under warranty that return after being fixed. Interior quality feels cheaper than it should. especially compared to the Honda Civic or Mazda 3, both offering better materials, more engaging driving dynamics, and significantly better long-term reliability. Volkswagen's cost of ownership is import expensive without import-level dependability, with maintenance intervals and repair costs that shock buyers used to Honda or Toyota economics. Resale value reflects this reality, dropping 35 to 40% in just 3 years, making financing underwater almost immediately. Dealers are bundling massive incentives, extended warranties, and free maintenance packages, but educated buyers see through the desperation and choose competitors that won't nickel and dime them after purchase, though there's an American sedan facing even worse rejection. Number 4. Chevrolet Malibu. The Chevrolet Malibu is living on borrowed time, and dealers know it, which is why lots are packed with heavily discounted models nobody's buying. General Motors already announced the Malibu's discontinuation, which has obliterated resale value overnight because buyers know they're purchasing a dead nameplate with uncertain long-term support. The 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine is underwhelming, lacking the refinement and power you'd expect, while also suffering from reports of excessive oil consumption and premature wear. The interior feels dated and cheap, with an infotainment system that's generations behind what competitors offer and materials that look bargain basement compared to a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry. Reliability has been inconsistent, with electrical issues, transmission problems, and various minor annoyances cropping up well before 100,000 miles. The driving experience is numb and uninspiring, offering nothing that would make someone choose it over a Mazda 6, Accord, or even Hyundai Sonata. Fuel economy is mediocre despite the small engine, and real-world MPG often disappoints compared to EPA estimates. Dealers are slashing prices by $6,000 or more, throwing in incentives and rebates like confetti. But buyers aren't biting because they understand what buying an orphaned model means for future trade in value and parts availability. The Malibu represents everything wrong with giving up on a segment, and the market is punishing it accordingly. But at least Chevy isn't alone in its struggles. Number 5. Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 was once the bold American rear-wheel drive sedan that turned heads, but in 2026 it's an aging relic that buyers are avoiding like a bad investment. The design hasn't meaningfully changed in over a decade, making it look outdated next to modern competitors, and the interior feels like a time capsule from 2015 with cheap plastics and ancient technology. The 6-liter V6 is thirsty, averaging barely 22 miles per gallon combined, which feels inexcusable when 4-cylinder turbos are making similar power with better efficiency. The available 5.7-liter Hemi V8 is even worse on fuel, and with gas prices still volatile, buyers aren't willing to stomach 15 miles per gallon in real-world driving. Reliability is a gamble, with electrical gremlins, transmission issues, and various component failures becoming almost expected after 80,000 miles. The 8-speed automatic transmission, while generally smooth, has a history of shuddering and hard shifts that often require expensive repairs or replacements. Chrysler's brand image has weakened dramatically, and resale value reflects that brutal reality, dropping 50% or more within 4 years. Dealers are stuck with inventory that represents everything wrong with resting on past glory instead of innovating, offering discounts exceeding $8,000 on fully loaded models that still can't compete with what Honda, Toyota, or Genesis are offering. The 300 is a dinosaur waiting for extinction, and buyers have already moved on, but there's a luxury sedan in even worse shape. Number 6. Cadillac CT4. Cadillac CT4 was meant to compete with the BMW 3 Series and Mercedes C-Class, but it's failing spectacularly, leaving dealers desperate to move inventory at massive losses. The base 2.0-liter turbocharged engine feels unrefined and buzzy, lacking the smoothness expected from a luxury sedan at this price point. The interior quality is inconsistent, mixing some premium materials with cheap plastics that have no business being in a $40,000 car. The infotainment system, while feature-rich on paper, is plagued with glitches, freezes, and a learning curve that frustrates owners who just want simple, intuitive controls. Build quality complaints are common, with rattles, squeaks, and trim pieces that feel loose or poorly fitted from the factory. What absolutely destroys the CT4 is resale value, dropping 45 to 55% in just 3 years, making it one of the worst investments in the luxury sedan segment. Cadillac's brand perception continues to weaken against German and Japanese competitors, and the CT4 embodies why. It's a half-hearted effort in a segment where buyers demand excellence. Lease deals look attractive until you realize you're hemorrhaging money on depreciation, and buying outright means watching your investment evaporate faster than almost any competitor. Dealers are offering discounts approaching $10,000 on loaded models, bundling free maintenance and extended warranties, but educated luxury buyers know better and they're choosing Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Genesis, or even Lexus instead. And then there's one final car that might be the biggest cautionary tale of all. Number 7. Mitsubishi Mirage G4. The Mitsubishi Mirage G4 is the automotive equivalent of giving up, and dealers are learning the hard way that even desperate budget shoppers have standards. The 1.2-liter 3-cylinder engine is asthmatically underpowered, producing a pathetic 78 horsepower that makes highway merging genuinely dangerous and acceleration embarrassingly slow. The interior is stripped-down poverty spec, with hard plastics everywhere, seats that feel like lawn furniture, and a feature list that would have been considered bare bones in 2010. The continuously variable transmission is unrefined, noisy, and delivers a driving experience that feels cheap in every possible way. Build quality is bottom tier, with panel gaps, cheap paint, and a general sense that this car was assembled with minimal care or quality control. Mitsubishi's brand presence in North America has faded to near irrelevance, raising legitimate concerns about long-term dealer support, parts availability, and resale value. Speaking of resale, the Mirage G4 loses 60% or more of its value in just 3 years, making it one of the worst financial decisions in the entire automotive market. Safety features are basic at best, lacking many of the advanced driver aids that are standard on competitors like the Hyundai Accent, Kia Rio, or even used Civics and Carlos that offer vastly more car for similar money. Dealers are offering rebates, incentives, and financing deals that seem too good to be true because they're desperately trying to move inventory that represents the absolute bottom of the barrel. Even first-time buyers on tight budgets are choosing slightly used alternatives over a new Mirage G4, and that tells you everything you need to know about this forgotten, unwanted car. These 7 cars aren't just sitting on dealer lots because of bad timing or tough market conditions. They're there because they represent poor value, questionable reliability, or flat-out obsolescence in a market where buyers have too many better choices to settle for mediocrity. After 15 years in this business, I can tell you with absolute certainty that dealership panic is real, and these cars are the reason why. Buyers today are more informed, more careful, and more willing to walk away from a bad deal than ever before. They're checking reliability ratings, comparing resale values, reading owner forums, and making smart decisions that protect their wallets for years down the road. If you're shopping for a car in 2026, learn from these failures and choose something proven, reliable, and worth your hard-earned money. Avoid these 7 disasters and focus on vehicles that will treat you right long after the new car smell fades. If this video saved you from a terrible decision, hit that like button. Subscribe to Car Care Nest for honest expert car advice you can actually trust, and drop a comment telling me which car you'd never touch with a 10-foot pole. I'll see you in the next one, and remember, knowledge is your best defense against a bad car deal.